So the equine limb injury prevention program started in the middle of 2016, so it's been going for nearly 5 years now. So we had a smaller program running prior to that, but with the death of Red Cardo in the Melbourne Cup, that prompted us to push harder to expand the program to make an impact, because clearly this was a problem for the racing industry that needed an evidence-based investigation and understanding to help prevent these sorts of injuries. The research program is supported by a joint venture with Racing Victoria, the state government and the University of Melbourne, who all contribute funding to the program. The main phases of the research, we started off by gathering information on how microdamage accumulates in bone, how it's repaired, and how the bone adapts to race training. And we also got some basic information on what trainers are doing, how they're training horses, the distances and speeds that horses are going. And then we've developed in the next phase through to trying to relate those together and understand the effect of training on bone turnover, microdamage accumulation, and trying to understand what we can do to prevent injuries. And another big part of the latest phase is understanding how we can monitor horses through both diagnostic imaging and the use of inertial sensors to understand if we can detect injury as it's developing and we can stop these horses prior to a more serious injury happening. So some of the key findings from the research so far is that high-speed work is the one that we have to concentrate on the most, because it's where the microdamage accumulates from horses going fast. That rest periods are really important to allow bone to repair, and so it's critical to provide regular rest periods away from training or to reduce training levels for periods to allow the bone to repair itself. We've also been able to show that around about 50 to 60% of horses have signs of prior injury on CT when they've actually had a fracture. So this has enabled us to understand that CT is really important for detecting injuries before they occur. And then we've also shown that inertial sensors mounted on horses when they're racing can detect changes in the way horses gallop for around 5 to 7 races prior to an injury happening. So this is really critical information for understanding how we can detect injuries before they occur. So the research supports the racing industry by providing education and evidence-based practice to both trainers and the regulators. So when regulators are making decisions, they're evidence-based rather than based on opinion. So it also supports the industry by showing that the industry is making an effort to understand these fractures and injuries and show how it can prevent them. And that's really important for the industry's social licence.